Dr. Jonathan Sacks was an eminent Jewish rabbi and scholar, and for over 20 years he served as the chief rabbi of the United Hebrew Congregations of the Commonwealth. He was very committed to interfaith relations and at times was criticized by more conservative Jewish traditions for his belief that truth could also be found in other traditions and religions. He died in 2020, aged 72. He was a regular broadcaster, and this reading is taken from one such broadcast back in 2002, following a visit to Ground Zero, the site of the destroyed World Trade Center buildings in New York, following the devastating attacks of September 2001. This was given on the first anniversary of 9/11, and while he reflects on the conflicts and concerns of that time, it seems to me that these words speak no less prophetically to our world today. In January this year, I stood at Ground Zero, awed by the sheer scale of the destruction, moved by the messages from those who lost family or friends. I was there together with leaders of all the world's great faiths. The Archbishop of Canterbury said a prayer, so did a Muslim imam. The chief rabbi of Israel read a reflection. A Hindu sprinkled holy water from the Ganges. And I was struck by the sheer dissonance between this coming together of faiths in peace and the terrible religious extremism of those who planned and carried out the attack. Religion, I suddenly realized, is like fire. It warms, but it also burns. And we are the guardians of the flame. Religion, far from dying, remains a significant factor in conflict zones throughout the world. Northern Ireland, the Balkans, the Middle East, Kashmir, because whereas the 20th century was about the politics of ideology, the 21st century is about the politics of identity. Who am I? And to which side do I belong? And to those questions, the great religions are our oldest and deepest answer. The trouble is that the politics of identity is inherently divisive because by creating an us, it also creates a them. The people not like us, the unredeemed, the infidel, those outside our circle of belonging. Which is why peace is so hard across the great divide of different faiths. Peace is a paradox. Almost all the great religions praise it and decry conflict and war, yet those who show courage in battle are celebrated, while those who take risks for peace are often assassinated. Lincoln, Gandhi, Martin Luther King, Anwar Sadat and Itzhak Rabin. War speaks to our sense of identity. There's an us and a them, and no possibility of confusing the two. But peace involves a profound crisis of identity. When enemies shake hands, who is now the us and who the them? That is why the pursuit of peace can sometimes seem like a kind of betrayal. Which is why, as this century unfolds, we're going to need not just military strength, but also spiritual courage to reach out hands of friendship across boundaries, to recognize the integrity of ways of life unlike our own, to listen to other people's stories, and to see the trace of God in the face of a stranger. God has made many faiths, but only one world in which to live together. and it's getting smaller all the time.